Thanks for watching GTU Hour 2, where we now learn what a healing center is and step inside one local to St. George. Former host Jesse Miller takes us there.
I am here with Rod Goodman at Zion Healing Center with some very special sponsored content that you need to hear about. Rod, tell us what makes Zion Healing Center unique. What do you do here?
Well, we are a healing center, and a lot of people wonder what's a healing center. We're really different than anything that's ever been out there because we have a holistic approach that is mind, body, spirit. And I like to say what we do here is we wake up the brain and we light up the soul.
I love that.
And so, yeah, it's kind of an outside-inside approach, but we have the latest technology here, which we'll talk a little bit about, that helps to wake up the brain. And then we have a whole spiritual awakening program, and Robert's, our CEO, has even written a book on that. And the whole process is saving lives. We're healing people.
Well, and you truly have saved lives here. So I'm excited to talk about what you have to offer for people out there that are struggling. There's so many with mental health, with addiction, depression, anxiety, so many things, especially with the pandemic. Have you seen a rise in that?
Well, absolutely. I was just actually doing some research and some studies, and it said 1 in 5 people were suffering from depression. And that's really our main focus here is depression, anxiety, stress, those types of things. We've done addiction and substance abuse, but that's really not the underlying problem. I mean, that's a Band-Aid. People are self-medicating, and what they really have issues with is mental health issues like depression, anxiety, and stress, and trauma. So we get to the underlying issues there, and we treat those, and we treat them with our technology.
Let's talk about that technology. Okay, so it's transcranial magnetic stimulation. What is that?
That is part of how we wake up the brain. And that's this piece of equipment that we're looking at right here. Kind of looks like a dentist chair.
Do I need to be scared when I am doing this? Let's talk about it.
Yeah, it's completely natural, and it uses light therapy. It sends an MRI strength magnetic pulse into the feel-good receptors of the brain, and it helps them to release dopamine, serotonin, all of the hormones that help regulate mood. And that actually affects a lot of things besides depression, but that's the main thing we're treating here is depression and anxiety. That's what this has been approved for. There's actually 5 new studies that our provider NeuroStar is about to release that have also been FDA approved for other related dopamine challenges.
So it's not from medication, it's not from chemicals, it's actually a natural thing being released.
It is. It is. We call it physical therapy for the brain.
We all knew that.
It just goes in there and it exercises for about 30 minutes. It'll send a pulse in there intermittently, and it will help to exercise those synapses there, the electrons and everything that are releasing hormones, feel-good hormones. Yeah.
Retrain your brain.
Yeah, and it becomes a permanent solution.
Well, and that's what we need is a permanent solution. You guys have a philosophy about the difference between treating mental illness and healing mental illness. So what's the difference?
Yeah, well, there's a big difference. So, like I said, you can treat addictions, you can treat issues, you can do some counseling, you can do whatever you can do, like with addiction treatment. We go into the underlying issues of the trauma, the anxiety, the stress, the depression, what is driving those. And so the equipment, the TMS, helps. We also do neurofeedback, which does brain mapping. It shows you the parts of the brain that have been affected, that are not lighting up. We can actually see a picture of the brain and see which parts have been damaged. And then we know which areas to address. And then we go in there through neurofeedback and we start getting the left and right brain working together. We light up those parts of the brain that haven't been working. And we also do theta therapy, which helps put the brain into a theta, which is the most restful, healing state for the brain.
Which is what you need. Let's talk, if there's someone out there who is either struggling themselves or knows someone in their life, what would you want to say to them?
I would want to say that you don't need to suffer any longer. There are answers, there's natural healing, there's ways, like I said, with the technology that we've got, our spiritual-based counseling, spiritual-based recovery is really the it's the thing that's going to take you and give you that joy, that love, that passion in your life as we really help people get a connection. I just want to say you're not too far gone, because as we were speaking just before we went live here, that we have had several people come in here that were suicidal. Now we see them around here with smiles and loving life and living life. So you're never too far gone. There's help, there's answers. I would tell people to go to zionhealing.com and find out more about our specific programs, our therapies, the mind, body, spirit.
And how it can help them, because it can help you. Thank you so much, Rod, for letting me be here. Once again, that's zionhealing.com. Such important sponsored content. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Jesse. Coming up next, Joey Fatona's here. He's already signing autographs for people in the studio. Don't go anywhere. We're right back.